Hi, it's Mike DelSignore, New Bedford OUI attorney. Today's video, I want to talk to you about a court that I've been practicing a very long time, New Bedford District Court. If you are arrested for OUI out of New Bedford, give me a call. I can help you. Since I started my law practice, I've been working on a New Bedford court. People know me very well. They know that I started there when I was 25, double that age now. But I love my job every bit from when I started. So let me tell you what you need to know if you're arrested for OUI. First thing people want to know is when can you get your license back? So if you took a breath test and you failed, it's 30 days. Try to get schedule a hearing now so that you can get your license back on day 31. So if you waited till day 29 and said, okay, the suspension's up, you're going to wait another 3 weeks. So don't put yourself in that position. If you refused a breath test, it's a 6-month suspension. I wouldn't go try to appeal it to the registry in Boston. They're going to potentially take out another suspension, and that won't be successful. What I would do is, if we can get a not guilty prior to the 6 months, you might be able to get your license back. That's possible in New Bedford. It's still going to take 4 or 5 months. So basically, you're going to have to figure out how to get to work and drive and get rides if you want to fight your case. If you can get a letter from your job, you potentially can get a hardship. You're going to have to admit to the OUI, so it's not a great situation. If it's not a winnable case and you can't get the letter, there is a way I can get you a hardship without a letter. It's just going to take a little longer. So you'll probably be suspended for like half the time. So license consequences, I explain that to all my clients. I'll always help you get your license back no matter what the outcome of the case is. So first court date is going to be your arraignment. You're going to enter a not guilty plea, get a further date to come back for what's called pretrial. At the pretrial, then we'll gather all the evidence and then be able to fully evaluate the case. So the video evidence in the case takes a while to get. Typically, it'll take 60 to 90 days or even longer. So we need to wait to get that evidence and then determine whether we're going to put it on for a motion, trial. In most of my cases, I'm hoping I can fight the case, get you a not guilty verdict. So if there's a breath test in the case, I'm going to try to get the breath test excluded, try to find ways around that so that you don't have to admit to the OUI and that we can still have you found not guilty. It's something I've done for a long time. I handle these cases all over Massachusetts. I attend national conferences on DUI cases. I've spoken at events both locally and in other states. And enjoy the work, and I know that there's flaws in breath testing, so there's ways to keep that evidence out. Basically, a breath test is an estimate of your blood alcohol. It's an indirect test. They're not taking a blood test, they're taking a breath. So how do you get from a breath alcohol to blood alcohol? There's a lot of conversion, there's math, there's assumptions that don't apply to everybody. So these tests aren't always accurate, so keep that in mind. When you're charged with OUI, a lot of the issues are subjective. These field sobriety tests, a lot of people can't do them if they have no alcohol at all. So you're basically being charged based on the opinion of the officer. And that opinion can be wrong. There's a very aggressive state trooper in that area, very quick to rush to judgment to arrest people for OUI. So keep in mind, these are winnable cases. It's easy to get arrested. All the police need is probable cause, and they can make an arrest, bring it back to the barracks, and make you go through this process. But to convict you, to have you found guilty of an OUI, they're going to show that it's proof beyond a reasonable doubt, highest degree of certainty, much higher standard, much more difficult. So the goal is to hopefully be able to take the case to trial and have you found not guilty. And the way I do that is I point out all the things you did right. I'll show that you're polite, cooperative, minimize any bad driving, and point out all the flaws on the field sobriety test, reasons why, if there's a mistake, it might not be from alcohol. So that's what we're trying to do, show, well, geez, look at the, if we have a video, the other officer was sort of interfering. That happens very often. The conditions, you might have been distracted by the road or the weather conditions. You might not have had good shoes on. The officer might have explained the test quickly. A lot of times they say, I see this often in videos, you stepped out of the instruction stance. Well, the officer is demonstrating is way away from you. So if you're supposed to be paying attention, you naturally would get out of the stance. I see reports say somebody's unsteady when they're clearly not. So there's a lot of defenses to these cases, and I'll go over all those defenses with you. If you're arrested, call me. I Typically, I'll review the police report, tell you what I think about the case before you even hire me. But if you want the best chance to avoid a conviction, I think I give you the best chance to avoid an OUI conviction and get a not guilty verdict. I've been doing this for a very long time. Court, not only in New Bedford courts, but courts all over Massachusetts. Be happy to help you. Call, text me anytime. My name is Mike DelSignore, 781-686-5924.